I hate it when I forget to take this cap thing off. It really bothers me, doesn't it, Allie?
Yeah.
Allie, codename Twig.
Pam, you can deal with that.
Ow! I'm Pam, and I hope that Adam and Allie will like this idea, because if they don't, I'll be disappointed.
Mrs. Jean-Marie Bracklin. This year, I'm actually semi-retired teaching Calculus BC.
Go!
Somebody did in the other
Mr.
class.
Hughes.
They took their phone in the middle of diplomacy and they
throw it?
My name is Ms. Delphas. I teach AP Environmental Science.
I'm Kathy Messenger. I teach chemistry and advanced science research.
My name is Kristen Austin and I teach AP English and Creative Writing.
My name is Rafael Aguayo and I teach SRIM.
I'm Lindsay Schubert and I teach AP Psychology and US History through Art, Media, and Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Belaich and I teach AP European History and Leadership.
I'm Kathleen Ware and I teach 3 honors English classes and 2 collaboration with Mr. Clark.
Hi, my name is Mike Balthorst and I teach English 10 honors and AP Computer Science.
Hi there, my name is Paris DeSoto and I teach AP English 12.
Bonjour, I am Nikki Lewicki, I teach French.
Hello, my name is Dominic Calmels and I teach Spanish 1 and Spanish 5 AP.
Hi, I'm Mr. Burns and I teach AP Physics and Earth and Space Science.
My name is Thad Smith and I teach Art 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I'm Doug Garrett, teach English and journalism here.
Alan Rudolph, I teach AP US and AP Euro.
My name is Sarkis Kelartinian. This year I teach Algebra 2 Accelerated and Calc AB classes.
My name is Ann Jordan and I teach Japanese 1, Japanese 3 honors, and Japanese AP.
I'm Sharon Smith and I have taught almost every English class that there has ever been at this school. Where do I come from?
The right. I come from San Jose. I was born in Los Gatos Community Hospital.
I'm actually from Los Gatos. I was born in Los Gatos, so I haven't gone very far.
I actually was born in Los Gatos, went to Blossom Hill Elementary in Fisher, and then graduated in Los Gatos in 1999.
I was born and raised in Southern California.
I come from Southern California.
I come from Huntington Beach, Southern California.
I was adopted at the San Mateo Agency.
I am from the Bay Area.
Basically, I come from the Walnut Creek area.
I'm from a small town just north of San Francisco. It's called Novato.
I come from the state of Louisiana.
I am from Missouri. I grew up in Kansas City and I lived there until I was 21 years old.
I grew up in a small farming and coal mining town in south central Illinois called Carlinville.
I'm originally from Belleville, Illinois. I grew up in Indiana.
I grew up in a small town called Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
I'm from New York, just outside of New York City.
I'm Armenian. I'm from Beirut, Lebanon.
California, Japan mostly.
Where am I from? Earth.
I think the most important thing to me is the relationships in my life, my family and friends and the people I love.
Well, obviously the environment is important to me.
Responsibility, to fulfill my responsibilities and my obligations.
My family and doing a job that I love and feel gives something back.
Building positive relationships with people.
I just want to make my little corner of the world a better place while I'm here.
Definitely family, my students, my animals.
Defense mechanisms.
Family and torturing students. That's a joke, the last one.
Being kind and curious and compassionate. Forgiveness too would be really up there. Forgiveness of self and others.
My dog, my family, and I really, my job is really important to me.
Connections and love.
My grandson at the moment.
What's important to me? Life.
Help them survive chemistry.
I try to make every moment count in class and be worthwhile. Come out smarter than they came in, or better educated at least.
To make students feel important and included, like they have a safe place to go.
It's for you guys to be prepared for college, and that's really prepared for life, and not just intellectually or academically, but to have some sense psychologically.
Building their confidence and making them feel good in the classroom.
To get my kids excited about learning and also competent at learning, because what a lot of students don't realize is they're students for life.
Well, in general, I hope to be a good role model to all my students.
To explore ideas with my students.
To work with the students who appreciate math. It's very important for me to see that all of my students, they learn as much as they can.
To give them a sense that they can have an impact on the environment and also just on the world around them in general.
What is your goal as a teacher? Continue learning.
I wish somebody had told me that it's okay to not be perfect, because I feel like I spent a lot of years just trying to be perfect, and you never can be. You just kind of want to be the best you can be, and that's going to be different for everybody.
I wish I had known that it's more important to be who you really are instead of who others want you to be.
Grades don't matter that much. Relationships matter a lot. You get to decide whatever you want to be.
That we are in total control, that we are our best teacher.
Life goes on, and the moments in high school sometimes feel like the biggest deal, but in the big picture, a lot of the things that we worried about then don't matter now.
That perfectionism is the path to misery. I wish that I had been told that instead of being so judgmental and having the default setting just be judge, to try to shift it and be more curious and ask more questions.
To have more fun, to just kind of relax a little bit about things. To try classes that weren't necessarily of my obvious interest.
That you don't especially need to do the track right away of doing high school, and then college, and then job, and then kids. I wish someone had told me, you know, maybe do a gap year, you know, maybe do a year off to go abroad and kind of think about what you want. Life is short and you gotta have fun sometimes too.
I told you this, buy real estate. I don't know why you guys don't want me to say that.
Knowing that real happiness is helping others achieve what they define to be happiness. That adults can be just as clueless as kids, they're just better at hiding it. And always wear sunscreen.
Pursue what makes you happy. That is above all important in life.
When one door closes, another door opens. But often we look at the closed door with such longing and so regretfully that we don't see that the other door has opened.
As you go through life, you realize that bad things are going to happen, but you want to focus on the good things at any moment in your life, because there'll always be bad things, but the good things are what help you get through, and realize they'll come again.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it would have helped me to know anything, because I was such a smarty pants and thought I knew everything.
That grades are not really as important as we think, that doing your best in learning is actually the important thing.
What are some of the things you wish you had known in high school? Is that what it says?
Yeah.
I think I've forgotten.
He was a senior, and he managed to get himself into some major disciplinary trouble in the spring of his senior year, and he got expelled. A negotiation was made that he would be able to finish high school at a continuation high school. So unfortunately, at the continuation high school, there was nobody who could teach him calculus. So I went there twice a week until the AP exam, because he put all that time into it. I'm happy to say that, as I recall, he made a 5 on the exam, and last I heard he was on track to become an engineer.
I don't know if I've ever really done like big grand gestures that are memorable. I think it's actually the little things.
I actually, over my February break, had to go to Santa Clara and hang out all day while he collected data. Writing the recommendation letters at the last minute.
I had a student, and this was before Los Gatos High, that she was a senior, and for whatever reason she wasn't coming to school. She would show up once every week or two. She actually lived on the way to work for me, and so the deal was I'd pick her up in the morning, and if she came every day, on Friday I'd buy her an ice cream. And she then had perfect attendance.
So I think, you know, there are lots of things that I've done that were not directly related to teaching, but they were about just being human and helping a student?
She was learning English as a second language. She's from Mexico, and she had been in my class for only a day or two and was already going through bullying, racism. She was going through legal battles with custody with her parents, and so I helped her a lot with translating with her parents and stuff, legal documents after school. I gave her rides home because she didn't have a ride home.
One of my top students in her junior year became pregnant, and she wanted to have the baby, and so I went out of my way to help her learn AP Physics at home, and she actually showed up and took the test and did very well on it, and so that was a lot of work, but I was happy I was able to support her in her decision.
So I've met with them like before every test to review the material, to study the material, to teach them study strategies.
What's the most you've ever done for a student? It's not quantifiable.
So she would consistently leave her food behind, and the next day there was just this giant trail of ants from the outside all the way in my room, all the way to her desk, and it kind of followed her out in the hallway there. It was kind of gross.
I'm going to interpret that question broadly and mention my association with Fractured Follies. I was in some funny films like Boogeyman and Honey Badger and Harlem Shake, walking down the main street of Los Gatos with a helmet on my head. So I never in my wildest dreams thought I would do that. But
on a field trip, one of the parent chaperones asked me out on a date.
That is just way too hard, because one of my favorite things about teaching is that I laugh every day, every single day.
So like my second year teaching, before I was tenured, I was teaching Huckleberry Finn, and told the kids that they needed to get out their books, and one of the students said, "What book do you need us to get out?" And I said, switch the first letters. Instead of Huck Finn, get out your... That was awful. I was sure I was going to be fired.
So this also isn't Los Gatos High. This is back on the East Coast. Class ended, and a kid comes up and says, "Hey, I found this in a desk," and it was a pop pipe. And I was co-teaching with this woman, Mary Jo, and we say, "Thank you very much, and we'll deal with it." And Mary Jo, without thinking much about it, takes the pop pipe, puts it in her front pocket, and goes to teach next class because she didn't have time to go. And so we're teaching the next class, and then all of a sudden this boy, Terry, in the back goes, "Hey, that's my pipe!"
So I'm sitting there in the middle of diplomacy. Half the students are angry at me because they're losing the game as if it's my fault. And in fear of their grade. And so one girl made a little Snapchat picture of me, and then she put little devil horns on me and me carrying a trident, and she had written underneath, "The Devil."
My first year at Los Gatos, I was sitting on my stool, which I still have in the front of the room, and I was lecturing and I was really into it, and all of a sudden I noticed this albino spider was dangling down from the ceiling, and it was right in front of my face, but none of the other students saw it, and I screamed and literally fell off the chair onto the ground, and everybody looked at me like I was crazy, but I loved it.
Probably when I was trying to teach the research paper unit, I was on the stool of death over there. This kid kept tapping his pencil, and then he just like wouldn't stop. It was like research paper, we had a lot to do, and I lunged to get his tapping pencil, and my foot got caught in the stool from death, and I fell down, and the stool fell on top of me, but I just pretended like nothing happened. I got right back up, and I could feel blood dripping down my leg.
A couple of years ago, I had a student for a Christmas gift. She gave me her picture. It was quite interesting.
A funny story, they're only for class.
Okay, it sounds so crunchy, like, oh, that's, hug crystals.
I just learned what on fleek is. So that's always fun.
Is this gonna go somewhere where everyone's gonna see it?
Yes, we're gonna put it online.
Well, then I'm
Send
not
it to
gonna
all your
answer any of these
family.
questions.
Mr. Hughes, Ms. Racklin is waiting for me, and she's going to be very upset if I'm late.
Who's the most important person here?
Ms. Racklin.
No.